We are what we think. All that we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make the world, samsara. It has been said to you again and again that the Eastern mystics believe that the world is illusory. It is true. They not only believe that the world is untrue, illusory, Maya, they know that it is Maya. It is an illusion, a dream. But when they use the word samsara, the world, they don't mean the objective world that the science investigates. No, not at all. They don't mean the world of the trees and the mountains and the rivers. No, not at all. They mean the world that you create, spin and weave inside your mind. The wheel of the mind that goes on moving and spinning. Samsara has nothing to do with the outside world. There are three things to be remembered. One is the outside world, the objective world. Buddha will never say anything about it because that is not his concern. Then there is a second world, the world of the mind, the world that the psychoanalysis, the psychiatrists, the psychologists investigate. Buddha will have a few things to say about it. Not many, just a few. In fact, one that it is illusory, that it has no truth, either objective or subjective, that it is in between. The first world is the objective world, which science investigates. The second world is the world of the mind, which the psychologists investigate. And the third world is your subjectivity, is your interiority, your inner self. Buddha's indication is towards the interior-most core of your being. But you're too much involved with the mind. Unless he helps you to become untrapped from the mind, you will never know the third, the real world, your real substance. Hence, he starts with the statement, we are what we think. That's what everybody is, his mind. All that we are arises with our thoughts. Just imagine for a single moment that all thoughts have ceased. Then who are you? If all thoughts cease for a single moment, then who are you? No answer will be coming. You cannot say, I'm a Catholic, I'm a Protestant, I'm a Hindu, I'm a Mohammedan. You cannot say that. All thoughts have ceased. So the Quran has disappeared, the Bible has disappeared, the Bhagavad Gita has disappeared. All words have ceased. You cannot even utter your name. All language has disappeared. So you cannot say to which country you belong, to which race. When thought cease, who are you? An utter emptiness, nothingness, nothingness. It is because of this that Buddha has used a strange word. Nobody has ever done such a thing before or since. The mystics have always used the word self for the interior-most core of your being. Buddha uses the word no self, and I perfectly agree with him. He is far more accurate, closer to truth. Buddha does not use the words Atma, self, Atta. He uses just the opposite words, an Atma, no self, an Atta. He says when mind ceases, there is no self left. You have become universal. You have overflowed the boundaries of the ego. You are a pure space, uncontaminated by anything. You are just the mirror reflecting nothing. We are what we think. All that we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make the world. If you really want to know who in reality you are, you will have to learn how to seize as a mind, how to stop thinking. That's what meditation is all about. Dropping the mind. Meditation means going out of the mind, dropping the mind, and moving in the space called no mind. And in no mind, you will know the ultimate truth, Dhamma. And moving from mind to no mind is a step, Pada. And this is the whole secret of the Dhammapada. Speak or act with an impure mind, and trouble will follow you as a wheel follows the ox that draws the cart. Whenever Buddha uses the phrase impure mind, you can misunderstand it. By impure mind, he means mind, because all mind is impure. Mind as such is impure, and no mind is pure. Purity means no mind. Impurity means mind. Speak or act with an impure mind, or act with mind, and trouble will follow you. Misery is the byproduct, the shadow of the mind, the shadow of the illusory mind. Misery is a nightmare. You suffer only because you are asleep. There is no way of escaping it while you are asleep. Unless you become awakened, the nightmare will persist. It may change forms, it can have millions of forms, but it will persist. Misery is a shadow of the mind. Mind means sleep. Mind means unconsciousness. Mind means unawareness. Mind means not knowing who you are and still pretending that you know. Mind means not knowing where you are going and still pretending that you know the goal, that you know what life is meant for. Not knowing anything about life and still believing that you know. This mind will bring misery as certainly as the wheel follows the ox that draws the cart. We are what we think. All that we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make the world. Speak or act with a pure mind, and happiness will follow you as your shadow, unshakable. Life is so short, so momentary, and you're wasting it in quarreling. Use the whole energy for meditation. It is the same energy. You can fight with it, or you can become a light through it. Meditation will make you awake, strong, and humble. Meditation will make you awake because it will give you the first experience of yourself. You are not the body, you are not the mind, you are the pure witnessing consciousness. And when this witnessing consciousness is touched, a great awakening happens. As if a snake was sitting coiled up and suddenly it uncoils. As if somebody was asleep and has been shaken and awakened. Suddenly, a great awakening inside. For the first time, you feel you are. For the first time, you feel that the truth of your being. And certainly, it makes you strong. You are no longer fragile, not like a frail tree that any wind can overturn. Now you become a mountain. Now you have a foundation. Now you are rooted. No wind can overturn a mountain. You become awake. You become strong, and still you become humble. This strength does not bring any ego in you. You become humble because you become aware that the same witnessing soul exists in everybody. It is said by Osho. Namaste.